Buyer's prep. So you're thinking about getting a beautiful summer house for your garden. But there's just one problem, and it's your next door neighbours. Either you don't get along with them, or you find them quite difficult, or they find you quite difficult, or you just generally don't agree on most things. If you're squabbling about colours for painting fences, where the fence should be, what the boundary is on the driveways, all that sort of stuff, if there's lots of bickering going on between you and your neighbour, you might be really quite nervous about the prospect of putting a summer house up and pissing them off even more. What I would say to you is there's very little that they can do about you having that summer house. So if you adhere to all the permitted development that we have in the guidelines for planning, then there's nothing that they can do. So you can have a summer house anywhere within your boundaries, and you can have whatever sort of size and style that we have as standard in that garden space. The only times that you would have a real issue is if you are encroaching on permitted development regulations. So if you are trying to put a summer house really close to a boundary and the height exceeds 2.5 metres, then you will need to go for planning permission before having that assembled. Now, in that case, can your neighbour object? If you do need to go for planning, will your neighbour object? Can they object? It's very, very difficult for an objection to be upheld. It has to have proper weighting. You have to be putting this building right in front of their kitchen window for there to be a severe complaint there. The other things are views and light. If you're blocking any of these sorts of things within a close proximity of your neighbour's house, then they might have room for complaint. If they just want to object because they don't like you and they don't want you to have a beautiful Gillis Mackay building, then it won't be upheld. So just take some comfort in knowing that the majority of summer houses are permitted development. You really don't have a thing to worry about anyway. But if you do encroach on permitted development regulation, that there's very little that your next door neighbour can do.